you, us, you. The story's over now, I must conclude. I am conflicted, watching where I step still, hanging in the balance, not the life I want to live. I want to take it all, standing tall, fear I've weighed the person you are. Oh, break out, I've got to see. Spent all my life holding all of it closely. I played it in a sense, a feel of discontent. I'm finally facing it all, fearless. Fearless.
Hiya, welcome to it. It's another week 4 of the Ekasi Esports FIFA 21 series. And of course, ke Uratile Musimehe sitting in front of you guys. And Akita Maikili one. I've got the beautiful, dressed in red, matching. What's up?
We agreed on Aura. What happened?
No. I can read it.
Let's leave it.
Yeah.
Let's leave it.
We don't want that issue there. Yeah.
Anywho, nakalibizeke na mathapelo ngwana na Mosotho.
Yes. I am sharp at intro. Matapela ngana Mosotho. Hashtag Mantapela ngana Mosotho. Leave it in the comment section, guys.
Yeah.
Ngana Mosotho. Write that down. We just want to see you guys. Yeah.
Let's see. Just for testing.
Yeah. It's another week, another beautiful week of action, and of course, man, a lot to look out for. It's the final week of the knockout stages.
Hey man, and it's really the final. But babang habasale mo bane baling teng the last time. Fela ning babang ka ba ilo di mo bo top up punyana.
Yeah.
So Sarata boy.
Tunaki bonita fula elia ono karai. The interesting yana so.
Fela ning kila actually making a fitilang hore. You know what? The top 8. It's the battle of the top 8.
Yeah.
So whomever that is right there, more lining to 1 until 8. Kianeng ka shabang hore na utla fihla kai. And we saw that with Ako. He's now on number 8, and he was on number 1. So
so things are looking a bit trouble. Shaky. Yeah. Even top 27.
The tables are shaking.
Top 27 because anything can happen from there.
Watch ho 25 a fitla ho 5.
That's what I'm saying, man.
What is gonna happen? Because honestly, I did not expect Ako to actually move from the first spot, but hey, it happened, and our top 3 is looking very neat,
nice.
very clean.
Very neat. Haven't lost any matches so far.
Exactly. Boss Zonke obviously being a boss.
Yeah.
Gonke. So hey, we see them. Tifak also there.
Yeah.
So boy, man, who busy?
Yeah. And wait, this is all possible because of Vodacom. This is Ekasi Esports powered by Vodacom World.
Yes.
And we bring you the action, guys. We make sure it's tasty. We make sure that it's jam-packed, sweet, like our producer likes to say, it's succulent. There was a joke we like making with his brother. His brother joined us today. So he's succulent. Yeah.
Who didn't talk about fail?
Succulent. Who need tasty? Yeah, powered by Vodacom. The sales. If you guys want to equip yourselves up with a young phone, the Oppo screen, the Oppo deal, Vodacom. Make sure to check out Vodacom World. Lana.
Yeah, here at Vodacom World.
Yeah.
So if you feel like what's my king, it is time for you to upgrade to a nicer camera with good quality pictures. So make sure that you head on over to Vodacom World.
Yeah.
And get that upgrade.
Yeah. And like we mentioned, it's the final week, guys, of the week 4 of the knockout stages. So which means next week we're jumping into our top 16. Yeah, kidi group stage next week.
How Shebile who top 16 is and thing in cover the same people, or could it change?
Hey, I don't think so, man. To be honest with you, I don't think so.
But you just said that the top 20 something,
27 badu 12 points, and then your number 10 badu 15 points. So it's like anything can happen.
Like just like I said the last week, days are not as long as we think they are. They're very short, and anything can happen in a short space of time.
Yeah.
And these are just one of those. Number 1 in Elemanyan, number 5.
Yeah.
So 4 spots down. Hey, anything can happen.
Anything can happen.
So Mutu can go from 20 something to 16 to 8.
Definitely. But you guys drop down your predictions. Let us know what you guys think. And let us know who's gonna take today's match. Today Renale Bozonke playing up against Apiwe.
Yeah.
Yes, and I think I know a bit about Bozonke. Do you know? Have you seen it?
No.
Yeah, I think he's number 3, of course, on the table.
Yeah, he's number 3 on the table. That is all I know, and I know that he has won all his games. So halala to him.
Halala.
But then because Apiwe is on 29th spot, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
So will he relax and be like, hey?
Yeah, complacent.
Okay. Otherwise, Lena Batamore 5-0.
Yeah. Yeah.
So he must really up his game. Askana now, just because of Definitely. It is where you'll stay. No,
so
anything
definitely,
can change.
guys. Yeah, definitely. You guys keep the comments coming in. Engage, talk to us. Let us know what you guys think. Who do you think is gonna take today's match? Bozonke up against the Piwe. And yeah, man, I think it's time for the action now. Ne?
Yeah,
it's time for the action. Let's jump into it. We've got the analysts, the guys who are deep with it.
Yeah,
the geeks of this entire thing.
The ones that know who it's that deep.
Yeah. Last time I had paprika or something, tatarik or something.
Nna ne kutlwa fela ba bua di ingredients mo no ntse ba tshwa la ntse ba bua ka mabitso a batho so ke tla reng.
Yeah. So let's jump into the Mr. Eugene and Sam plays.
And ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Ekasi Esports FIFA 21 series. It's your boy Sam Plays, and today I'm joined by lovely Eugene, man. How you doing, my friend?
I'm good, man, and you?
I'm doing good. I am eager. I am keen to see the games that are lined up for today, man. We are in the 4th week of a 4-week-long league, man, and we're coming to the end of that stage. These are the last few games that the players are going to be playing. They're playing their 7th and their 8th games, and after this, then they qualify to go to the group stages, man. What do you think is going through the players' minds, man? This is the last time you get the chance to actually try and make it to the group stages. If you don't make it in the top 16, you're out.
Fascinating stuff, man. The 7th and the 8th games. So I think when you are a player today, if you are not at the top, you are starting to use the calculator and checking how many points you need for you to be guaranteed that top 16 spot. And it's going to be fascinating to see Piwe, for instance. I think he's in number 29 or something, and he needs all 6 points today. So it's going to be that that kind of a day where I think it's going to be end to end because players will want to go for it.
And as someone who plays myself, I play a lot of six-a-side soccer, and there comes that point in the tournament where you start calculating, I need 3 goals to win, and then you pray that other guy loses just so that you can make it to the top. It gets to that point where it just gets dizzy, and you're just praying for the best at this point. But yeah, I mean, Apiwa is 29th right now. I don't know, chances are slim that he can make it to the top 16. Winning both games it's great, and he can do it. However, now what we found is that the top 3 players are all separated by goal difference alone. You're looking at everybody who's won each and every game, but goal difference is a matter of now someone is at 18. The first place I think is at 18. Zuahir is at 18 goal difference. The second place is 17. The third place is 16. So it's literally by 1 goal difference that's separating you from the best. So you can literally win all the games, but if you don't have the goal difference in your favor, then you might just not be able to bag it in. So it's one of those hectic situations. In this situation, we might have to see Apiwa, if he's going to try and win it, he has to win it with a huge goal difference, and he has to come in with that aggressive gameplay that we saw last week, where people are just going in for the goals. Take every shot you can, create those opportunities, get the ball behind the net so that you can stand far in between everybody at the top right now. Yeah,
and I think the main thing today is win your games first. You gotta do what you have to do. And don't leave it to the other guys for them to do you a favor. Just go out there, make sure you win the game. Yes, you do really need that goal difference. You need that 5 goals, 6 or 7. But if you don't have the points, it's pointless. So what you need to do, get the 3 points first, secure them, secure that 3-0, 2-0, even a 1-0 win. Because you never know what's going to happen in the other games. Because I saw there, I think up until number 27, they still have a chance of being top at the end of the day.
Yeah.
You know, even though we've got, you know, 3 guys who haven't lost, but if those 3 guys lose both of their matches today, then we're in a situation where anyone can be top
At the top,
you know.
yeah.
So it's not over until it's over today.
No, those are really great words, and I think I just want to say kudos to everybody that's been playing for now, because you've made it. It's a 4-week journey, right? And you've made it this far. I just want to say shout out to everybody, because I know how tough it is when you're at the bottom of the log and you still have to find the motivation to keep going, to keep trying, and you can see that the guys at the top, and you don't know what to do to be able to get up there, but you still keep going. What we saw in the first week were players were quitting after a 3-0 lead, and I found that I was like, this is not the way of a player. This is not how you learn. If you just quit every time you lose, it doesn't really make sense, you know. So you have to be able to endure that journey, stick those 4 weeks, and even if you don't make it, I think the experience counts. You know, we in South Africa, gaming is growing at a rapid rate, and we're trying to still find our feet as gamers, as esports players, especially in the FIFA scene. So for people to just quit halfway through the game and quit halfway through the tournament, it doesn't really help us with the growth.
Yeah, it doesn't, man. It doesn't. I mean, when you concede 3 goals, it means there's a problem, and you need to solve that problem. You know, you don't need to quit, because if you quit, then you haven't solved the problem. So what you need to do, start problem solving. Yes, he scored 3 goals. Yes, probably he's better than you, but just find ways of how can you make him uncomfortable as well. You know, already has won the game, but try to unsettle him somehow, and try to build from those small changes in your game that are going to make him unsettled. And you learn from those things when you go up against the other guys going forward with other tournaments.
And I think that's one of those things. It's you have to learn.
Yeah.
You're not going to be able to learn if you don't go through that experience. If you don't actually challenge those hardships that you might be facing. You know, it's a sport. You know, we lose some, we win some, but that learning experience. This is how you grow to become a top tier player.
True.
And you can't. By avoiding these things, by avoiding challenging players, means that you're avoiding being able to grow to the maximum potential that you actually have inside of you.
I totally agree with that. And you know, sometimes a person can score 3 goals by luck, you know, and you are busy unsettling them, but you can't see that you are unsettled them. They can feel that this guy is unsettling me, but somehow I'm getting 3 goals. I got 3 goals by luck. And you start quitting a game which you would have come back and scored 5 goals. How many times have we seen a 3-0 lead being wiped out in the first half? You know, in FIFA matches and also in real life football.
Yeah.
So I follow what you're saying. Do not quit games. Rather see them through and take whatever you can take from them.
Yeah. And I think it's a common thing in the culture of FIFA, where if you score 3 goals, we call it a whitewash. So at that point you say, cut the game, let's move on to the next person, because you know it's almost irreconcilable. You can't come back from this one, which I think is a bad practice. You know, it's a thing you can come back.
I think if you go back to the previous FIFAs, FIFA 2000, FIFA 09, FIFA 07, that works.
Yeah.
If you score 3, it's done.
Yeah.
But with this new FIFAs, FIFA 21, 20, 19 and 18, with the introduction of the instructions and the tactics, what if I start the game and I just go all out from the beginning and I score 3 goals and then you quit?
Yeah.
But if you had played through to the 45th minute, you would find that my players don't have stamina. Then you are going to have all the time to score your 5 goals because I'm without stamina. You know, so if someone scores 3, 4 in the first half, it shouldn't really scare you. It should just make you aware that you need to pull up your socks, because that guy might have maybe been playing pressure, you know, constant pressure right through. Might have been playing all-out attack right through, you know. And now in the second half, he's got red stamina, and you still have green bar stamina. Yeah. And you can do anything you want, and you know, get a 8-4 and 8-5 victory. You know, so. We're gonna repeat. Do not quit your games, because what if that guy, you know, unfortunately suffers load shedding? You know, we've got so many problems in South Africa right now, so you can't just quit games.
And I think it goes with that thing of it's never over until it's really over. Until the ref gives you that final whistle, it's not over. Anything can happen. I've lost games where somebody comes back in the last 5 minutes of the game just because they were determined, because they were ready to go all out. And exactly that thing of my players are done. You know, and it comes with that thing of you never know what happens in the second half, what the person is going through. When you're winning and the opponent is trailing, it becomes a thing of you become comfortable.
Yeah.
Now you're relaxing.
Yeah.
Now you're like, no, I've got this in the bag.
Yeah.
Now you're not taking as many opportunities, things like that. And that's when the game switches. And I think it also goes hand in hand with that thing that we were talking about last week, where observe your opponent. Use the first half to just learn how he moves, learn where he plays, learn where to go. We saw that last week where, the one player was leading by a lot and we were like, okay, this is how it's going to go, until, we had that defense that was impenetrable until it became penetrable, because the opponent understood and he learned and he said, okay, cool, this is how I get into the defense. This is how I get the ball. This is how I create more opportunities. This is how I get the ball behind the net, and eventually winning that game. So it can really, really go either way. It's just a matter of observing, learning, understanding the play field. It's, someone explained it very nicely when I asked, these are words I'll never forget, but they was trying to explain what esports looks like, or what esports is, specifically in FIFA and games like Fortnite. And essentially it's just like chess, but now imagine if the board was moving as well at the same time. So now you have so many different moving parts and elements in the game for you to be able to understand it and hone it and really be a master at it and hone your craft. So it's one of those things of, FIFA isn't just as simple as I'm here, we're playing, this is how you move these pieces. No, it changes constantly. The world of soccer, anything can happen. An injury can change the entire dynamic of a game. A substitution, you've got that thing of super subs, understanding what to do and where to go. So it's really one of those things. It can go either way. You just have to have that determination and understanding of how you're going to go about it.
Yeah, and a change of tactics. As a FIFA player, you shouldn't have one way of playing. You should have a variety of ways, because sometimes you play someone who maybe, let's say you're using a 4-4-2 formation, for instance, and then you're playing someone who's using a 3-5-2, and you can't really utilize the 4-4-2 to your fullest potential. So what you need to do is change it up a bit. Maybe play a 4-2-3-1, maybe play a 4-3-1-2, or play a 4-2, a 4-4-2 second variation, or other formations as well. So sometimes you really need to do those things and try to figure out how best can I play this guy. And also, I always tell people this. Sometimes in the game of FIFA, even the smallest details, they can change a game. Your team lineup, the way you will line up your players. It's not FIFA is not like how real life football is. So there are certain things that work in the game that in real life don't work, or that work in real life, vice versa. So your lineups should be, your team selection should be to your advantage, to how you play. Sometimes if you can't really penetrate through the middle, you should be able to play via the wings. You should be able to cross the ball into the box and have players who can hit the ball, because it's one thing crossing, but not having players who can hit the ball. And sometimes you need players who can shoot from outside the box. As we saw last week, I think we saw three goals in the first game that we watched, and none of them were were outside the box. And that's what people are missing, at the moment. Players are not shooting from outside the box anymore. So sometimes when it's rigid like that, you really need to try and get your De Bruyne, what's this guy's name, your Hendersons, to shoot from outside the box. And that can be the decider between you going through to the top 16 and not.
And I think what I picked up from what you said last week as well was knowing your players, understanding their weaknesses and their strengths. You often mentioned this person has 5-star skills, this one has a weak left foot or a strong right foot. Understanding who's where and what their strengths and their weaknesses are, so that you don't make common mistakes like shooting with the wrong player at the wrong time. So truly understanding your players and understanding how they work and where you can place them and how you can truly leverage them, leverage their strengths, leverage their weaknesses as well. If you understand that someone is bad with the left footer, then you should stay away and avoid from shooting from the right side. So it's things like that that I think can change the game and really switch it up for you and take you to the top.
And to add to that, set pieces as well. Many players are not scoring from set pieces nowadays. So as a FIFA player, I think you should sometimes try to sit down and practice set pieces, because that 2 goals that you will get from set pieces from like 10 games might be vital in making sure that you are going through or not. So there are many places where a player can improve, and that's one area where I think a lot of FIFA players need to improve, from the corners and from the direct free kicks as well.
Man, I think we've given the players at home enough information, enough motivation, and enough insight in the game of FIFA for us to actually comfortably go into the next game that we're going to be playing. So I got word that Manchester City is going to be Boss Zonke and France is going to be Apiwe. Just to give you guys a bit more insight, once again, Boss Zonke is currently seated at 3rd place on the league, and we've got Apiwe, who's currently at 29. So it's one of those things where you mentioned again that anything can happen, we can win, and we can actually go to the top if Apiwe does the right things. He can win both games. Again, it's a thing of having to get that goal difference, that getting as many goals as he possibly can. So Apiwe, if you're watching, we believe in you. We can do it. Boss Zonke has proven he hasn't lost any games so far. So you're going against a tough opponent.
An opponent who just need 1 point to go through. So it might work to your advantage that he's relaxed. He just knows that he just needs to get 1 point. Yeah. And if you get determined, maybe you might just pull through.
So we're getting into the game again. Just to give everybody context, Boss Zonke is Man City, and you've got Apiwe as France right now. So we've started the game, and we're hoping that this one is going to be a banger. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for tuning in. Myself and Eugene are going to be casting the game for you guys, so stick with us, and we'll be able to give you an enjoyable experience, man. The game has started out. I believe France is in blue and Man City is in white. So you guys can just keep that in mind when you're looking at the game. Again, Boss Zonke is in white. He has a undefeated track record, currently sitting at no losses and 3rd on the table, but only separated by a goal difference this time.
So I think Man City in blue and France in white.
Okay.
As you can see, the match is casually started. It seems like the players are trying to like each other.
Apiwe is trying to break through with the ball. Again, just to give you guys insight, Apiwe is in white, Boss Zonke is in blue. Boss Zonke being paid by Man City, and Apiwe is France in this scenario. Very interesting game. I mean, they're playing it quite casual. You can see that Apiwe is trying to get those opportunities in, but just not being able to crack that defense and trying to make it through there. Boss Zonke proving to us rather, that he is a player who understands his defense and knows how to keep the opponent out of the box.
Yeah, so far it seems like both the guys are being careful with the kind of moves that they're trying to do. Just before the box, outside the box, they're not really going for those skill moves. They're not really going for those shots. Like they're trying to test out each other and see what you can do. But as you can see, Apiwe coming through and getting the ball into the box, and he shoots. Oh, what a miss! What a miss.
Those are the kind of opportunities that you don't want to miss. Apiwe, he's the one who's on the back foot here. But he's going to try and get back into it. Beautiful skilling there, but just doesn't manage to get it through to the player that he was choosing. Boss Zonke now finally has control. And this is one thing I wanted to pick up, is that Boss Zonke here, he's at the top of the league. But in this scenario, Boss Zonke has everything to lose and Apiwe doesn't. So this might it might add to the dynamic of the game.
Let's see this move as he goes into the box and cuts it back. What a great challenge by the defender there to make sure that Boss Zonke doesn't have an easy tap in to make it 1-0.
Quick observation, you can already see the quality of plays coming in from Boss Zonke. I can already tell why he's the one that's at the top of the league. Quality plays, trying to make the most of the opportunities that he makes, or he gets rather. But in this situation, Apiwe is hungry for that win and is doing whatever it takes for him to try and get it to the back of the net, but unfortunately not getting it to the players that he seeks out in this situation. Beautiful through ball. He might just be able to land this one. Playing inside the box, cuts back to a player, finds an available player. Beautiful skill moves. He just needs to be able to make it through that defense He's able to crack it, but he just needs to land it to one player. Tries to get that ball in, but unfortunately doesn't get it to the back of the net. Man, what a game.
What a game, the center backs are proving to be, very strong in this game. We've seen 2 blocks from both sets of center backs that have been vital in making sure that the deadlock isn't broken. And as we can see, Boss Zonke, I like the calmness that he has when he's got the ball, but the directness that Apiwe has when he goes forward, he seems quite sure. He seems quite to have the idea of what he wants to do, but so far he's not able to penetrate that rigid defense that is Manchester City's.
Man, Bosonke is trying to find that opportunity from the right wing. Manages to get it to his players. Once again, you're seeing those quality plays, beautiful skill, loses that player. But Apiwe really holding his own, man. And we're quickly approaching half-time, and none of the players have been able to get that goal in. Apiwe proving that he actually can and is able to get that win in this situation. He's proving to be a challenge for Bosonke.
Yeah, it's proving to be a challenge. I think what you can see from Boss Zonke is from Apiwe rather, when he's got the ball, he's looking to go wide, while Apiwe also looks to go wide, but he's also free, able to go into the middle of the park and play the ball in the middle of the park. So my thing is both the players are not using skill moves. When you've got a situation like this, they need to start being creative inside the box, being creative just outside the box. Yeah. And as we approach halftime, I think that's one thing that they need to work on.
One of those things, when again Apiwe tries to find that man at the front and tries to break through with that through ball, but doesn't manage to land those passes, always getting intercepted or always getting into the way. Once we saw there as well as Bosonke missed a vital opportunity that would have been able to set him apart in this game. These are one of those things we saw Apiwe miss a very vital opportunity in the beginning of the game, which could have been able to set him up front in this situation, but not being able to land that in the back of the net is one of those things that puts him in a disadvantage at the time. You don't want to miss out on opportunities like that.
You don't want to miss out on opportunities like that, especially when you need a win. The situation that we currently have with these 2 players is, if this game is 0-0, it might be that the winner of the scorer of the next game wins the game. And I wouldn't want to be either of them, because Apiwe is chasing the win, and Bozonke is like, nah, it's fine, I can draw this one and go through, so he might just take that approach and leave it at the end, via a corner or via something like that. So both the players are in real danger of missing out of big points here.
Yeah, especially Apiwe, man. He needs those ones to be able to get into that top 16. This is the final run. This is the last week in this league journey that they have before everybody qualifies to the group stages. So you really want to make every opportunity count in this situation. Hopefully, we might be able to see a goal in this one. Last thing we want to see is a draw. But yes, we've got Bosonke here. He's got possession currently, trying to find that vital opportunity that will set him apart from Apiwe. Plays it pretty well, and you was mentioning before that this is the way you have to start getting creative. This is where we have to start seeing the skills that's going to set you apart from everybody and the rest. We can see the stock standard football strategies aren't working in this situation. You need to be more creative. You need to come up with different strategies and different ways of trying to get through the defenders and get that goal that's going to be able to set you apart.
Yeah, and I haven't seen one cross into the box. If it's not working sometimes on the floor, just put it on the air and see what happens. It might just come through for you. And as we can see, the two, I like the positioning of the 2 CDMs of Apiwe's. I think it's Pogba and Kante. They're not really moving away from those positions, but something will need to give between those 2 CDMs. I think he should be changing the instructions to Pogba, to say Pogba needs to be joining in the attack, because he needs a goal here, Apiwe. So to have Pogba protecting the defense, but at the end of the day you are the one that needs the win, I think it's a mismatch there. That's something that if I was him, I would be looking to change, because those 2 forwards up there, I think it's Mbappe and it could be Benzema. they are really isolated. When he gets the ball, he can't really quickly get it to them. So you need Pogba to join in into the attack.
Beautiful analysis there coming from Eugene, man. Really dissecting the game for you guys at home watching right now. Making sure that you guys enjoy this experience as best as you can. Hopefully we'll be able to see.
Nice through ball.
Beautiful through ball coming in there from a POA. It's just him and the keeper. Few skills. He might just be able to lob it in, and unfortunately doesn't make it in. What a beautiful play coming in from a POA, man.
What a beautiful play also from Bozonke there. If you saw there, he didn't really take out the goalkeeper. He just took him out and just stopped him, because he knew that if he took him up further, he might be in danger of conceding a cheap goal, and that's what nearly happened there. If it wasn't for the centre back and also for that goalkeeper going back, it would have been 1-0 to Apiwe.
No, that was a very well quality made decision there by Boss Sonke, not taking his keeper all the way out, just taunting Apiwe really, just to make him a bit scared and get him to shoot a bit earlier, which really worked in his favor. But Apiwe really had a beautiful opportunity there to try and land it in. Another beautiful through ball that comes into the wing, might be able to land it in. Very, very optimistic, opportunity that he tried to take there, but not necessarily the clinical and the strategic thing that I want to see when it comes to a vital game like this one. That he needs these 3 points.
I like this from Apiwe. Just go a bit more direct, because you really need the win here. And you cannot afford to be just sitting back and withholding the pressure and just passing out casually. You need to go all out for it. We saw a cross just now, and we also saw that through ball where he nearly scored but didn't, thanks to a wonderful piece of defensive play from Boss Zonke there. But if he continues this, something will have to give for him, and it's the last 15 minutes. He needs to score now. He needs to make sure that he goes out guns blazing, because if he doesn't, then it's curtain.
And I want to circle back to what you had mentioned before, is that sometimes things that work in football don't necessarily work in FIFA, and vice versa. That cross was beautiful, and I think it's something that you would love to see in soccer, in real football. But in FIFA, it's a bit of a chance that you're taking there, and it's not a guarantee for you to get that goal. In this situation, I want those guaranteed passes, guaranteed opportunities that are going to be able to at least get you that shot on target. We're not looking for goals as much, but if you can at least make sure that you get a shot on target, then you might just be able to bag that W that Apiwe so desperately needs in this situation. We've got 15 minutes left on the clock. Bosonke currently holds possession, might just try and make that through ball, but it gets intercepted by Apiwe. Apiwe's defense
has been rigid, man. It has been solid. It has been, what you want to see from a FIFA player. But time is running out for him. He needs to show the same kind of play that he has at defense. He needs to show it here up front, because if it doesn't, as we keep on mentioning, it's gonna be curtains. And as we see here, Sterling coming from the left hand side, what is he gonna do? Is he gonna cut it back? But Varane is there. Is it Varane? Or the centre back is there to make sure that he doesn't score. As Mahrez comes in on his least favorite right foot, and he fails to score as a block comes in, and Dembele tries to release Mbappe. As he goes forward, he goes back, and it's 5 minutes to go into the game. Can Coleman? What a goal from Apiwe!
Wow, Apiwe showcasing great defense. Bosonke tried everything in his power to try and get that ball behind the net, but nothing worked in his favor.
As we said there, a game like this might be decided by just one play, and we saw that cross ball. Can this go? What an equalizer!
I have never in my life seen a game like this one. Beautiful goals coming in from both Bosonke and Apiwe in this situation. I can't even tell you, people at home, what is going on here live, where we're coming from. It's just a madhouse.
He had it in his hands. Apiwe had it in his hands.
Wow, what a game. Ref blowing that final whistle, stopping the entire game. Eugene, I don't even know what to say. I am lost for words.
I think if you look at the game, it tells you who's top and who's number 29. Because if you score, I don't know, did that goal go in at the 85th minute? I think.
Yeah.
If you score in the 85th minute, what you need to do next is game management. You know, and if only certain players have game management, at a time like that, you just need to win the ball and then get the ball and then just pass it around and recycle the ball. Because if you don't, that's exactly what's going to happen. And he needed the win much more than Bozonke did. And unfortunately, Bozonke had that experience, has, that know-how of getting what he wants, what he needs. Because that was the one time where he needed the goal, and he got it. Whenever Apiwe needed the goal, he took 85 minutes to score.
To get it, yeah. A very vital information coming in from Eugene. It was a simple thing of just hold the ball, keep possession, park the bus if you must, do whatever you need to take.
You have to. Situations like that. I think if you saw after the goal, the equalizer, we were able to see Bozonke activate high pressure. That's what Apiwe needed to do. Immediately when the guy kicks off, you activate high pressure. For what? For you to go in and win the ball as quickly as possible. After winning the ball, you make sure you pass it back. And then from there, you just hold on to dear life.
Right.
And then, hopefully you will get the 1-0 win. It puts you a bit closer, to where you want to be. But congratulations to Bozonke. He is the current number 1 at the moment, as things stand. He hasn't lost a game, 6 wins out of 7 with 1 draw. He needed the win to make sure that he goes into the last 16 and he got the draw.
And I mean, big ups to Apiwe, man. You're playing against someone who has been undefeated, and you're the first person to stop him from this long race. I mean, he's still undefeated, but now it's a draw in his record as well. So quality plays coming in from Apiwe. He really stood his ground for the longest time. And going back to that goal that he scored, that's when you're at your most vulnerable. Apiwe scored that first goal at 85 minutes, and he just became so vulnerable. I mean, Bozonke scored that goal in a matter of seconds, because you could see that the excitement is probably flourishing. Apiwe, he's just in this zone where he's just trying to figure things out, and he managed to try and get that goal in before that happened. So Apiwe, it's a very, very unfortunate. I think it's just a matter of, like you said, game management, understanding, reading the room, understanding the situation, and saying there are only 5 minutes left on the clock. The last thing you want to do is just mess things up and leave yourself vulnerable and allow Bozonke to be able to score those opportunities. If only he had had a different strategy to it, whether apply high pressure or hold the bus or do something differently, but making himself so vulnerable to Bozonke scoring that goal and ultimately getting that 1 point that he desperately needed as well. We're sitting at a point where people are just separated by goal difference. So you need those 3 points. You need that separation from everybody else just to make sure that you're in the top 16. But I loved what you said in the beginning, is that you could see immediately that who's 29th and who's a third place player. I didn't necessarily get the sense that Bozonke was a third place player. I would expected more from him, more opportunities, more goals. I think Apiwe was more hungry, and it also kind of circles back to what I said before, is that Apiwe had nothing to lose. He's 29th on the log. He has nothing to lose, essentially, whereas Bozonke is coming in from a point where if he loses this game, he's going to go down the log. He's not going to be able to stay in the top 5 zone that he's currently at. So he's got a lot more to lose. He's got a lot more pressure on him. So I would have wanted to see that. I thought I would have been able to, that would have translated into the game and the way he plays. But unfortunately, I didn't get that sense. But Bozonke still, again, congratulations to you. You held your ground and proved to be a worthy opponent.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes when you are a top guy and it's the league at the end of the day, and it's the top 16 that you are after. You're not really after the championship. You are under less pressure, so you don't really need to do much. I think that's why we didn't see much from Bozonke. He didn't really apply himself. But at the same note, you could say that it shows you that this tournament we've got high caliber of players. The difference between the top of the table and the guys at the lower end of the table is not really that much. It's just the mindset, not really the talent. because as you could see, they are pure match team. If we were judges, we would give this victory to Apiwe.
Yeah.
You know, in terms of chances created, the passing, the defense as well. It's just at that moment where he needed the experience, where he needed to, the game management, he just couldn't do it. And what a poor goal to concede as well. He had two guys behind his defense. I'm sure where he is, he should be kicking himself, because you cannot allow in the 88th minute to have two of your opposition's attackers behind your defense, and that's what ultimately undone him.
And I love what you said there. It's the mindset and not really the talent. It's a thing of what are you going into this game? Where are you in that situation? And I think you put it really nicely there, saying that Upasonke was third place. So for him, he's calm, he's comfortable. Complacency takes a little bit out of you. It's a situation of you're not as hungry as everybody else because you know that you're comfortable at this point. But we're going to be able to see Bosonke's next game, which is going to be playing against Sia Gift, who's currently seated at 8th place. So it's not necessarily 29th anymore. Now you're going against somebody who's in the top 16. He's in the same situation as you. He's going to be able to qualify if he maintains this position. The top 16 guys, we're playing for a lot of money here. 25,000 rands is on the line. So this is not a joke. To those watching at home, this FIFA thing is a real thing. It's not a joke. We're playing for real money, and you've got players that are now fighting for their chance at getting a lion's share of 25,000 rands. Again, Bosonke, in the previous game, seated at 3rd place. You've got Sia the Gift seated at 8th place. So they both need to make sure that they get something. For them, I think ideally a draw would work. But in the game of FIFA, it's a competitive sport. You want to win. You want to be able to show off to the rest of the table that you're the better player. You're the one that made it out on top, and you're the one that was able to separate from everybody else.
A Gift, I would like to be in his shoes now. Yeah. Playing a player who is qualified. It's like you're playing a guy who is, and in the sea, enjoying his holidays. He's got nothing to play for but for that top spot. So if I was Gift, I would go in there with the best attack that I'm able to offer. I wouldn't be really worried about the defensive side of the game, because sometimes if you worry too much about the defense, you tend to lose because you're allowing pressure. So good luck to him. He's the one that needs to secure that spot in the top 16. And for Bosonke, it's all about making sure that let me get the maximum points and see where I can finish. Because sometimes it gives you confidence going into the group stages from next weekend, knowing that you finish the league undefeated. You finish the league with only 1 draw and 6 and 7 victories. So if I'm him, that's what I'm playing for. I'm playing for that confidence. I'm playing for the seedings, because I'm sure we're gonna have seats here, and just being able to go into the next games, with that confidence in you. The other players, you've got that fear factor. Sometimes when you play against someone and let's say, for example, he's using Portugal or Piemonte Calcio, and it's a corner, and Ronaldo is there in the front post. You have that fear factor, because if he whips it in perfectly, it's gonna go into the head of Ronaldo, and it's 1-0. So that fear factor of Ronaldo, if I'm Bosonke, that's what I'm looking for. If you go into the group stages as the number 1 seed, or the one of the top top 3 seeds, then you have the fear factor within you. The guys who are going to play you in the group stages are going to be like, hey, I'm playing one of the top 3, so it's going to be difficult, and it's messing with his mind already. It might be to your advantage.
It's that thing of the position that you're currently in the league dictates the way that your opponent is going to face you. Essentially, if you're going up against a 3rd place player, then it means you have to up your game. You have to do things differently, and it becomes a very dangerous state, that one, because now you're doing things different to what you're used to. You're going out of your comfort zone to try and make sure that, okay, this guy's 3rd place. I need to play the best FIFA game I've ever played in my life. Otherwise, I'm not going to be able to make it out on top. But I just kind of want to go back to that game. Looking at Bosonke, we're we're going to go into the second game against him and Sia Gift. I just want to kind of, from your point, what kind of a player is Sia? You know, I couldn't really read how he plays. I couldn't really tell if he's more of an aggressive, offensive player or more of a defensive player. I didn't really see him put a lot of work in the defense, but when it came to shot creation and shots on target, he wasn't as aggressive as Apiwe. Like you said, if we were to analyze the game and were to look at it, the game would have definitely should have gone to Apiwe based on his play style and how he played. So going into the next game and what Bosonke has experienced in this previous game, what would you say to Bosonke right now? Like what should he change? Is there anything that he should look into when going against the Gift, who is undoubtedly a better player than Apiwe?
I think, you know, if I had to speak to someone like Bosonke who has secured their spot in the last 16, what I would tell them is just learn him, because you've got nothing to lose. You know, you really don't have anything to lose. So it might be to you, like to be like, it might be to your advantage to learn how Sia is going to play, because it might happen that you meet him next time, you know, in the group stages, and if you meet him there, already having the experience of how he plays, already having the notes of how, you know, what unsettled him, what made him uncomfortable, where his strengths were, you know, then you might be able to get the points when it really matters. So if I was talking to Bosonke, I would tell him, no man, play the same way you played Apiwe.
Yeah.
You know, because you have nothing to lose. You know, just go there, make sure you are rigid defensively, just see what he likes to, what team he chooses as well. You know, because the team he chooses dictates how he's going to play, and dictates, it might just be the very same team that he's going to use in the group stages. You know, so if you can see that, okay, now he's using Spain, and then he's got, you know, slow defenders at the back, you know, he's got PK and he's got Ramos. Ramos is a bit quicker, but PK is not, you know, and maybe he's also using the likes of Busquets in the middle of the pack. Then you know, oh, this guy likes Spain. So I can exploit these places. I can exploit the defense, which is a bit slow. He doesn't really have too many attackers. He doesn't really have wing players who are, fast-paced players. So if I was talking to him, I would just say, play the same game you played. Don't show him much. You know, yes, I agree. You know, sometimes, as we just mentioned, it's good to be in the top 3, in the the top 1, for that fear factor thing, for that respect when you meet other players. But as well, sometimes you don't want to reveal too much. You know, when you've got the play secured, you don't need to reveal too much. You know, just let them reveal themselves to you, and then you can reveal yourselves when it matters the most in the group stages.
And I think you made it very nice and clear there. I think now that you've explained it in that way, the way I see Bosonke is that he's more of an observational player, right? So he was just kind of getting the feel. I believe getting the feel for 85 minutes is a bit much. You know, he took his time. So kudos to you if you can really hold on for 85 minutes just to read a player, because we didn't see any vital opportunities that he took on until
he had to.
You know, he had to.
Yeah.
And then he was like, you know what, I know you now.
Yeah.
I figured it out.
Yeah.
And I can do it within seconds. And that's what we saw.
That's what we saw, but sometimes maybe he just got lucky. You never know.
Yeah.
You know, we never know whether that. Personally, it's the first time I watch him play. You know, so I cannot really say he's good going forward or what. But what I can say is he was unsettled for the majority of that game until he had to score.
Yeah.
So that point when he had to score and he reacted and got the goal tells me that there is something about it. You know, there is something to see there. But if he's going to go with that approach in every game after this one, then it's going to be a bad approach, and that might just undo him. You know, I saw his stats. His stats suggest that he doesn't score much, and he also doesn't concede much. You know, so when you have a player like that, it means it's like playing a Jose Mourinho Chelsea. You know, a team that will just stay there and pack the bus, and then get one chance, they just lumped it up, and then it gets to, you know, Fernando Torres or whoever, and then it just goes in the back of the net and they win 1-0.
Yeah.
So if he's a player like that, I'm gonna tell him now, in a game of FIFA, that's not how you play. That's not how you win tournaments. It's not the way you win tournaments. If you need to win tournaments, you need to play. You need to have a bit extra. You know, you need to have that surprise element. You know, because if you don't, you're gonna get found out. The guy, the opponent, just like Pure did. I think I think Apiwe missed like 3 sitters.
Yeah,
You know, in
yeah,
the first
yeah.
half, he missed an open goal.
Yeah.
He shot it wide. And then in the second half, there's that chance where he tried to chip the goalkeeper and it couldn't go in. And also that goal. So he had 3 clear chances and he converted only 1.
Yeah.
And as I'm saying, if you go into if you are Bozonke and you're gonna go into the group stages with that kind of gameplay,
Yeah.
with that kind of mindset,
Yeah.
you will be in trouble because not every time you'll meet someone who cannot gain management.
That thing, yeah. And I mean, now when going into the group stages, you're not playing just anyone. You're playing the top 16.
Top 16,
the
yes.
people that have proven to themselves and to everybody else that they have what it takes to rise to the occasion, rise above all their challenges and all these players. And now you're playing against the best of the best. You know, now you've got the top 16. They're going to be split into group stages. I believe it's going to be 4 per group, if my maths is adding up properly. And now you're playing. You could be playing against anybody in that top 16. So again, like you said, in regards to reading the game for that long, it's going to be a very dangerous play. It might not just go in his favor at all. So Bosonke moving into the next one, I think as maybe cut down the time that you use to read a player. Maybe cut down on
if
how
he
long it
was
takes.
reading a player.
Yeah,
If he
yeah.
was.
We are assuming at this point. Yeah, so maybe cut down on it. You know, 45 minutes, 30 to 45 minutes, I believe is enough. In the second half, I want to see you apply what you've learned. I want to see you be creative. You know, try figure things out and make those opportunities. Because I didn't see that many shots on target from Bosonke. I didn't see that many plays from Bosonke. It was Apiwe who was doing the crossing in. He was trying different tactics. He was doing everything he possibly could have to try and get that ball in. And again, proving to us that, like you said before, that you could see immediately who the third place player is, who the 29th player is. But I just love that from Apiwe that he was just trying everything in his power to try and make it work for him.
If I'm Gift, I'm going in for the win. I'm going in for the kill.
Right.
You know, because I just saw this guy is in his holidays.
Yeah.
You know, he's in his holidays.
He's chilling.
He's free.
Yeah.
You know, he doesn't have any pressure. So I'm going in for the kill. And we saw when he was pressured, his defense started showing cracks.
Yeah.
You know, those 3 clear chances. You know, that one by Benieda where he chipped the goalkeeper should have went in.
Yeah.
You know, but for Bosonke's, you know, creative thinking in how to, you know,
Shift the
you know,
keeper.
move the goalkeeper. And the first one where I think it was Ousmane Dembele who just shot it wide. It tells me if I'm Gift that I might just get chances in this game. So I shouldn't really. Yes, you need to put in an effort, you know, in the defense. But if I need a win, I'm not thinking about the defense. If I need a win, I'm thinking about how am I going to make this guy, you know, get him unsettled. You know, so. If I'm Gift, I'm just going all out. I'm not saying all out attack, but I'm saying my mindset is all out. When I get the ball, I'm looking for. I'm pressing the L1 button to activate those forward runs for my wingers and my attackers, and playing in that through ball. That is, we know from this game FIFA 21 that the through ball is overpowered, and you really need to utilize the through. I didn't see it so much from Bosonke, but I saw them from Apiwe.
Right.
You know, he played those through balls and. If I'm Gift, that's one thing that I'm going to exploit, those overpowered through balls.
Things, yeah. I think it's that aggressive gameplay from the get-go. You know, high pressure, applying that high pressure. Just, I think if Apiwe was, you know, played it properly, he could have kept possession for the most part.
You know, I would have loved to see this game if it was a 2-legged affair.
Yeah,
you know, because it would have been very interesting to see whether Apiwe was gonna. Not Apiwe, Bosonke was gonna go with the same, you know, game plan or not, because we saw, like, you know, Apiwe did enough for him to win, but for the finishing, which wasn't up to scratch, and Bosonke just did it when he needed to. So, Bosonke, please, can you need to win this game? I would like to see how you play. You know, when you have to, when you need a win.
Yeah.
So can you please need to win this game, even though we know you are in your holidays? Please, man.
Yeah. We want to see what did you do to get to this position? You know, he made it to third place, so he's clearly a good player. You know, so we want to see that. You know, we get it that you're comfortable, but maybe we'll see it in the coming games.
Stages.
You know, in the group stages, you know, one mistake, you're out. You know, in those situations. So maybe that high pressure that's going to be on him is going to actually come into play in this situation. So we'll see it.
But as you said, man, it's 25 grand on the line.
Right,
you know, sometimes when you've got that much on the line, you really need to just be careful sometimes. Do what you've got to do. Just like he did in that game. He just needed a draw and he just got a draw. Yeah. You know, so he can relax from now until next Saturday when he plays again. You know, he can relax. Even this game, he doesn't really need a win. But for that confidence factor, he really needs one.
Yeah. No, look, we're going to see it in the next few games, in the next few stages. I'm very excited to see it then, because that's when you know that the stakes are going to be completely high. It's going to be a situation of, you know, we're knockouts now. There's no second chances. You know, that's the thing that's happening now. So currently in the group stages, again, everybody's playing their 7th and their 8th game. So these are the last opportunities that you have where... And I kind of feel bad for someone like Opiwa, like you said, man. He did everything right. You know, textbook, classic, good FIFA, but not getting that ball behind the net essentially means that he's not going to be able to go to the group stages next week. So it's one of those things where, to everybody playing right now, if you're watching, kudos to you for making it this far. We're very proud of you guys. We congratulate you guys for making it this far, for not giving up. But we're approaching the final games now. We're sitting at Bosonke is playing his last game in the group stages. So maybe we'll be able to see him play that FIFA that we were itching to see. But I think with your last game, and if you do the calculations properly, it becomes a thing of whether I lose or win, I'm going through. You know, so maybe that might translate to the way he plays. But like I said, you want to learn as much as you can, because you never know who you're going to face next. So playing it calm and playing it cool and playing it according to the system, it works great, but I don't think it will help you grow into the player that you need to become. You need to be able to be a vicious, you know, dog in the situation. I need you. You know, there's players that I know in my circle of friends that I know that if they come, they tell you, I'm going to beat you. There's nothing you can do. You can play, they watch you manage your team and fix the position, and they say, it's fine, but man, I'm going to beat you. And I want that from Bosonke. I want that from everybody playing in this game, that you need to be that person that knows the outcome, that when I play against you, I'm going to win. I'm not sure if you're familiar with players such as the Beast from Goliath Gaming and Tabo from Goliath Gaming. Those are the kind of guys that I know when they sit down. I played against the Beast. He sat down and he said, my friend, be careful.
It won't help.
It won't help. What you do, I'm trying my best. I'm playing with a better team. He can say Kaizer Chiefs, but he understands the mechanics of the game. He understands how it works, and therefore it sets him apart from everybody else.
You know, I want us to go back to the tactics. You know, something very fascinating. I'm starting to catch up with. In the first half, Bosonke used the 4-4-2, and in the second half, he used the 4-3-1-2 or the 4-2-1-2-1-2. You know. And when he used the 4-1-2-1-2 or the 4-3-1-2, I'm not sure which one is it, because they are quite similar. I think the one that he's currently editing now. That's when we started seeing those through balls being played behind his defense.
Right.
And if you know, that's the other thing that, you know, what's his name, Gift needs to exploit. When he immediately sees that the opponent is playing the 4-1-2-1-2, go a bit wider a bit, because his players are a bit narrow. But also you must be careful, because if he's narrow, it means he's the one controlling the midfield. So your CDMs need to be working. That's why I think Bosonke needed to go to that formation, because he couldn't really penetrate Kante and Pogba. So he said, okay, let me just bombard the midfield. But in bombarding the midfield, he became, you know, vulnerable to those counter attacks, you know, on the wings. And that's one thing, you know, if I'm Gift, I'm looking to see if he changes, you know, from the 4, I think he's playing the 4-2-3-1 now. If he changes to the 4-3-1-2, then I can be able to play those through balls onto the wide areas.
Right. So everybody, ladies and gentlemen, we're knocking off the second game. We've got Bosonke playing as Manchester City, and we've got Sia the Gift, who's currently positioned at 8th on the log, playing as France. Hopefully, this time round. Oh, sorry, I got it mistaken. It is Bosonke as France, right? And we've got Sia the Gift as Man City. We've got Bosonke coming in with that very aggressive gameplay. What are the kind of gameplay that we want to see? 3 minutes in and we've got a penalty for France. Bossanke is going to get an opportunity to take a penalty. One of those situations where you don't want to miss out on it. He's going for the left bottom corner, and Sia the Gift manages to keep it away from hitting the back of the net. An opportunity that you don't want to miss, man.
An opportunity you don't want to miss, but then again we're starting to see something that he didn't in the last game.
Right.
We saw skill moves being used and in the edge of the box where you really need to start being creative, and we saw it there with the elastico that he used. I think he used 2 of them and one of them got him a penalty. So it really shows you that sometimes you really need those skill moves and be unpredictable for a change.
Right. Hopefully we're going to see more of those plays coming in from Bossanke. His defense proving to be solid in the situation, not allowing Sia the Gift to get through. He's playing it quite well. His players very well spaced. Not everybody is in their positions right now, making a few skills there and getting it to the right players. No interceptions this time around, so maybe Bossanke might be able to leverage this situation in his favor. Bossanke coming in from the left wing, trying to get it through, but Sia not allowing him, intercepting the ball quite well. Hopefully he can also try and make the most out of the situation. We've got Sia the Gift trying to find those clean plays, trying to find the next player that he can pass to. Beautiful through ball there onto the right. Is he going to cross it in, or is he going to cut back and pass it? Bossanke not letting him through.
Yeah, as you can see there, Bossanke's defense is quite compact. We're seeing the full-backs very close to the centre-backs, and it's making it difficult for his opponents to penetrate. And of course, if you've got Kante in front of the defense, it's not going to be easy for anyone. So it's working in his favor there, having Kante and Pogba marshalling that defense. And going forward, we're starting to see him a bit more calmer, a bit more creative, with the through ball coming in. And John Stones, I think, intercepted that one to make sure that it doesn't go into it was Ruben Diaz, who has been voted the Premier League footballer of the season last weekend. Kudos for him. He's been he's showed, he came into the Premier League and just owned it. As we feel a through ball there to Riyad, is it Kyle Walker? Yes, it was Kyle Walker, and unfortunately he cannot convert because he's a defender. The shooting stats are not really that high, but yeah, good chance created there by Gift, and the through ball again is proving to be the difference in breaking down Bossanke's defense.
Right. Man, really would have wanted to see something like a finesse in that situation that would have been able to get it to the back of the net, but unfortunately he just went directly for that shot. Bossanke trying to break through, tries to pass it into the middle, but gets intercepted by Gift. Beautiful defense coming in there from Sia the Gift.
Yeah, passed it to the wrong man there. I think that ball should have went to Ben Yedder instead of Mbappe, because Mbappe was well marshaled, by Ruben Diaz at the back there. So yeah, going into Manchester City, going forward with Raheem Sterling, cutting it back to Joao Cancelo, who finds De Bruyne, who takes it back to Rodri, who gets Riyad Mahrez, the Algerian, who shoots, and the ball is getting blocked. Can he finish this one? He can, because there with the chip ball, he took it with the right foot, and we know that Riyad Mahrez only has one foot, and it is the left.
Beautiful plays coming in there from Sia the Gift, really coming in through with those creative plays, trying the best. The through balls here are very, very vital and clinical in this situation. I really love it. Sia the Gift proving to be a very, very challenging opponent. Once again, another through ball, finding his man on the far left wing. Is he going to be able to place it inside? The passes are clean, gets intercepted again, always with the passes inside that 18 area. It's very, very risky, but I think it's one of those things that he's one of those players, similar to myself, he needs to confirm before he shoots. He can't just take opportunities.
Beautiful through ball. Beautiful through ball to Mbappe. What can he do from here? As you see, the fake shot stop. He tried the La Croqueta, but it didn't come through. The ball is taken away from him. But then again, it goes back to that point again. The through ball is strong, but we're starting to see a situation where both players are starting to have the ball just outside the box. And if you've got the likes of Gundogan and Kevin De Bruyne,
didn't couldn't find De Bruyne there, unfortunately. Would have been one of those things that could have really gotten him into the lead. And we have half time there from Sia the Gift and Boss Zonke. We are seeing a different side from Boss Zonke. This is a side that we haven't seen before.
We didn't see this, in the first game, and I think he had the plea to say, hey, please, can you need this one?
Yeah.
Both guys, I think they're doing enough, going forward, but they're not taking those shots. If you've got players like your De Bruyne's, in the edge of the box, just take a shot once in a while. Just take a shot. I saw there was a chance there with Gundogan. It was on his right foot, and he tried to put the through ball into the box. Just try a shot for once and let's see what happens. Sometimes those shots, you might be lucky. The goalkeeper might just parry it onto an oncoming attacker that might just tap it in. So take a shot when you can see that maybe the pass is not going to go through. If you've got, the likes of Kevin De Bruyne, your Paul Pogba's, who really have, high shooting stats and, long shot stats, take a chance.
Yeah. Do the most and take that chance. Yeah, right. It's one of those things where you just have to make the most of the time that you have. You don't have that much time. That's one thing people get wrong when it comes to FIFA. The time goes by so quickly. As we approach the second half, you can see Boss Zonke applying those tactics and those strategies that he needs to make for him to be able to win this game. I'm loving this side of Boss Zonke that we didn't get to see in the first game. He now needs to play and see the gift. Like we said, he's currently positioned at 8th on the log, so it's not the same caliber as the previous player up here. This time around, Boss Zonke is going to have to try and do the most to try and win this game.
Yeah, I think Sia, he just ran out of ideas there. And as we can see, Kante, a Ballon d'Or candidate for 2021, really distributing that ball very, very well. And now he's looking to go forward. He's looking for that through ball to Mbappe, but it couldn't come through because beautiful work from Joao Cancelo to close in the angles. He goes back to finds Kante, goes to Kante again. He looks for Pogba. Pogba takes it back to Ousmane Dembele, who wants to find Pogba. Then again, is that man, the Portuguese maestro, Joao Cancelo, with a good, beautiful interception.
Beautiful claims coming in from Boss Zonke and Sia the Gift. Sia the Gift trying to find his man with a clean through ball. Finding Walker at the front. He's going to try cross it in. Might just find his man. Unfortunately, it doesn't land. And the feet still retains possession. And unfortunately gets intercepted there as he tries to get into the defense. Finds his man Aguero with another beautiful through ball coming in into Mahrez. Mahrez just needs to find that beautiful opportunity. Passes it to Rodri. Rodri is going to be able to take the shot. But it gets intercepted, unfortunately. Boss Zonke again applying different tactics that he's going to need if he's going to try and win this game. Boss Zonke coming in for the attack here, but Sia's the Gift's defense proving to be a difficult one to get through.
Yeah, it is proving to be difficult. We're starting to see both guys. They've been testing each other out, but now they're trying to go for it. As we see Pogba coming in, Boss Zonke with the cutback, but couldn't find the man inside the box, and it's Sterling trying to find the counter attack, but loosely losing the position there, without any pressure or whatsoever. And it tells you again that Sam, that when the pressure is high, players play out of character, and losing a ball without anyone marking you has to be one of those things that is brought about by pressure in a game like this. When you are gift needing to win the game, you don't need those misplaced passes. As you can see, another one, the pressing there from Boss Zonke is very, very of the highest caliber.
Beautiful games coming in from Boss Zonke. He needs to try and get creative if he's going to try break through the defense. I don't know how he got through that one, but he did manage to, and unfortunately gets out of bounds. The ball is now back in the possession of Manchester City.
18 minutes left in the game, and it's still 0-0 in the game, which for Gift, he really needs the win. He really needs to go for it. But the second half, I think, really belongs to Boss Zonke there with a fake shot, trying to move into the box, cut it back to Coleman, who looks for a chance, who dances around the box, finds the ball is taken by Riyad Mahrez, who's looking to for the through ball up top to Kevin De Bruyne, who's one-on-one, clean through, one-on-one against the goalkeeper. Is it a goal? Yes, he has finessed it into the bottom corner, and it's 1-0 to Gift, who really needed the win, and he scores his first goal of the match in the 78th minute. And can we see now Bozonke doing the same as he did last match, scoring immediately after he has conceded?
This is one of those things, man. See the Gift does get that 1-0 lead. Unfortunately, leaves him in a very vulnerable spot. But maybe he may have learned from the previous game that we watched that, especially when after you've scored, you have to make sure that you keep the ball, maintain possession. Don't let Bosonke get those opportunities and take advantage of your vulnerability at this time and point.
You know, these are the benefits of playing against someone who is on holiday. You know, you've got freedom, you know, you've got all you need to do, you know, because he isn't there. He doesn't need it as much as you. You are the one that needs it. And you can see from the game that he has had chances, but he couldn't just penetrate the defense. And, you know, it's 5 minutes left into the game, and we think the bridge there working beautifully from Kylian Mbappe. But unfortunately, the goalkeeper just went out and caught that one.
Unfortunately, they're coming from Bosonke. Couldn't get it through. Maybe this time round we might be able to see something happen, but we've got See the Gift coming in from the right. He's still hungry for that goal. He might be able to make a second one. Beautiful pass and lands it in, man. See the Gift. What a beautiful game. Gets a little bit of that celebrating there. What a beautiful taunt.
Big mistake from Bozonke there. He tried to play an offside trap in a time where he didn't really need to, and it was mistimed. And you know, for Sia the Gift, it was a gift for him, and he took it very, very well.
Love that from Eugene with the wordplay. Not only is he good at commentating the game, but also a wordsmith at that. We've got Bosonke trailing with 2 goals at this situation. I really thought we were going to see something more this time, but what a beautiful game coming in from Sia the Gift. Carrying the place at 8th, he's probably going to be nicely at the top at this point, top 5 definitely, with a 2-0 lead, which means goal difference is going to be in his favor. What a beautiful game, Eugene. I think we are blessed to say that we witnessed 2 quality games today alone, and that was just some good FIFA coming in from both Bosonke and Sia the Gift.
Beautiful games, man. Beautiful games. You know, if you are not watching this stream, you know, I don't know what you're doing. I don't know what you're doing, man. You know, some of the play there, you know, you could see, you know, when a chance was given, a chance was punished. Yeah. You know, and you know, beautiful. You know, congratulations to Gift. You know, he played it very well. You know, he absorbed the pressure, and you know, in defense he didn't rush into tackles, and when he had to go all out to get the goals, he did that in brilliant fashion. You know, the second goal, you know, if he was a casual guy, he would have shot there with the brain, but he had the calmness to just pass it through to the guy who has the best opportunity of scoring. And you know, it's man, you know, if you know, I'm lost for words. I'm really lost for words.
The man, the wordsmith himself, lost for words, just tells you what a brilliant game of FIFA we saw there. Sia the Gift really showing us a different side of FIFA. It's one of those things where, you know, he had every opportunity and he took advantage of each and every one of them, you know, putting high pressure on Bosonke. I think Bosonke, for the first time in a long time, I think that's what happens when you're a champion. You know, you have 5 games undefeated, 6 games undefeated. It becomes a thing of, you know, you haven't been tested to that extent. You know, you haven't been shown real fire just yet, and I think this is the first time in a very long time for Bosonke in the 4 weeks that we've been playing that he finally finds a worthy opponent that made, you know, the water was hot, the situation was hot. He had to now come up with different strategies, and we saw a different side of Bosonke that we haven't seen before. Sia the Gift, you really put pressure, man, and I love that we said that. You know, if you are Sia the Gift, before we started the game, you mentioned this, that you want to apply high pressure. Yeah. You want to go in for the aggressive plays. You've seen that this man is on holiday. This man is calm. He's at the top. He's not doing much. And Sia really took everything in his power to make sure that this man feels that pressure. Yeah,
he did, man. Sia the Gift, he made sure, you know, he changed up the way he plays the game. You saw we saw De Bruyne going in, and he had the awareness to just chip the through ball through to him, and you know, what a calm finish. You know, right. Ball roll, just placed it into the bottom right corner, and it was 1-0. Bozonke tried to apply too much pressure to avoid the defeat because, as we said, we spoke about this before the game, that you don't want to go into the group stages on the back of a loss. Yes, you are on holiday, but you want to go into the group stages, with high confidence, knowing that you are one of the top seeds.
Right.
But going into the group stages as a loser is going to be, it takes away your confidence, and that's what he wanted to avoid, Bozonke. And unfortunately, he, in trying to apply the pressure, he made a huge mistake with that offside, mistimed offside trap that saw Sia the gift, being gifted that goal, and he took it very, very cleanly. The pass through to De Bruyne and the pass from De Bruyne, to the goal scorer there. It was, clinical of a man who needed the victory more than the opponent.
Eugene, I think we witnessed some great FIFA today, man. This is wrapping up now the 4th week in the 4-week-long league. Next week we take it to the group stages, where we're going to see the top 16 battle it out together to try and get the airlines share at 25,000 Rand. My friend, it's been an honor casting with you. What a beautiful day today. I'm going to have to watch this stream again.
Yeah.
I have to see this. I need to take some notes, man. If I want to be a top 16 player,
Yeah.
I need to take some notes from the stream.
Yeah, I would also love to watch it, man. Congratulations to both the previous players that just played now, and congratulations to everyone who's going to make it into the top 16, and to those who didn't make it to the top 16. Tough luck, hard luck. Just go back into the drawing book. We know we've got the series coming in again next year. You might just, if you want to improve, just keep on watching the streams. Watch how other players play.
Right.
Watch what they do where you would have done what,
Yeah.
and try to compare what works and what doesn't work, and try to implement it into your game. And hopefully next year we'll see you making it into the top 16.
Right. Learn. Study the game, analyze the game, use the resources that you have. The internet, the world is your oyster. Use the internet to your advantage. Learn different tactics, different skills. We did mention that if you want to try and break through someone in the previous game, the first game that we watched, that now you have to be creative. Now you have to use skills. Now you have to use different tactics and ways of trying to get through. So learn. But guys, thank you so much for tuning in. We're going to wrap it up from our side. Eugene and I had the honor and the blessings of being able to cast these 2 amazing games. We're now going to take it over to our co-hosts, and stick around, and we will see you guys again next week. Thank you very much.
What a match. Actually, those 2 matches were amazing.
Yeah.
Hey,
Hashtag you.
Bozonke.
Leave it in the comments. That's
Sure.
all I had.
No, but hey, it was good matches, and Bozonke showed what's making. He can actually, hold his own. Although the second match he did not win, but at least what's making. I can actually hold my own, and kind of
definitely,
score a young thing, kadi last minute. But
It's Bozonke, ne? The first match can understand. Apparently they have history, those 2 players.
Oh.
So they know their game plans. They know this guy plays solo. So we expected that much, of a tough match, Mara. It was a very entertaining match, guys, and I'm sure you
it
guys can agree.
was, especially that last minute goal, because
Yeah.
they get checking ba mo tlile 1-0 go fedile.
fedile.
And then Lena Mutu, I feel like Lena, he felt that way. What's like go fedile ke mo tlile 1-0 a relaxa, and hey, who
And
relax
this
out
might like ruin his chances of him making it into the top 16. Because like we know, for a goal difference between number 1 and number 27, it's very slim. Very slim. So unfortunately, he took a hasty price and he afforded it.
It's just one of those. It's just one of those.
Yeah.
But hashtag anything can happen.
Anything can happen.
So
I think that should be our slogan now.
yeah,
Anything can happen.
not easy just a game. Anything can
Yeah,
happen.
not easy
It's
just a game.
it's just
Hashtag
one of
anything can
those.
happen.
It's just one of those matches. And then the second match, it was interesting.
Yeah.
I really thought King Boss Zonke was going to take this one,
Yeah.
but unfortunately he didn't. And yeah, I know.
It costed him a lot, man. And another number 8, I think we'll see the gift was number 8.
Yeah,
on
Sia the
log,
gift was
and
number
then
8.
Zonke was number 3 on the log. So, like you said, battle of the top 8. Very the solid.
And it
listed
is
top
really
8.
the top 8. So
Yeah.
the solid people are actually the top 8, and the rest of the log, they're there.
Yeah,
we
they're
see
there.
y'all.
We
Like
see
at
y'all.
least you
Yeah.
fihlile got top 16 and you made the cut. But right now the top 8 seems to be doing the most. But I feel like they shouldn't be relaxed,
Yeah.
and they should up their game
Yeah.
as they go along, because they want to prove themselves that hey, I can actually do this.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
hey.
And I think definitely. If you guys want to check out the results, they'll be posted either later today or tomorrow in the coming days. And man, we'll see. I think it's going to be different, guys. I'm curious to see where the top 3 stands.
I really want to see, since this is the final week,
Yeah.
so I'm ready to see how the standings are going to be, and and will it stay the top 8?
Yeah.
Or will someone head into the top 8? You can never know what will happen. And the other matches. So yeah.
And of course, guys, if you guys missed the match, you guys can watch it all over and over again. If you want to see that Mnandi moment, those last minute goals, you guys can check it out again at YouTube, on our YouTube channel, of course. Tell your friends as well, buy phones from Vodacom, so that buy them phones and stuff. They can be able to stream.
Opo.
Maybe those old phones.
Yeah, and then
Those
yeah,
buttons. Yeah, they
and then it does not get you to where you want to be. So just in case when I maybe not to upgrade, you can tell your next door neighbor, front opposite, back opposite, born. Vodacom World has this deal or something.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, Lutli, like it's not my handwriting. Lutli.
Oh, what are the handwriting? Oh, Rutile fella still upgrading like good quality camera, it gets you a long way.
Yeah,
that's
absolutely,
all.
man. And Ekasi Ekasi Esports, what do we say, man?
I want.
Why me wa kuntlung, baba?
Why lena me wa kuntlung?
Wena me wa kuntlung.
Hey,
Hey guys, there's no makeup artist. She's the one who takes care of us.
I don't know.
If I look bad, blame her. For a long child support, negligence of what? Negligence of kids.
I don't know.
For child support.
Wait. I'm looking at the so-called childs. It's not really childing. No. But then do follow on the social media platforms: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Like, share, repost. Just do the most. Show that love.
Yeah.
On the socials.
Yeah, absolutely. If you guys want to know more about the tournament, the link is in the description. The tournament page is in the description below. And like this video, guys. Subscribe, guys, man. It helps with the
hit
algorithm.
the notification bell. Make sure it's turned on so that you can know now who's string one name. First in line. Get the front row seat to everything.
Yeah. So from Miss Bello and myself, bye.
It's a goodbye.
Good scenes.
All is said and done. I am restricted, fixed upon the web. I need to kick the habit that my mind is breathing in. Break out, I've got to see. and I'm feeling exaggerated, that's what you assume. The story's over now, I must conclude. I am conflicted, watching where I step still, hanging in the balance. Not the life I want to live, I want to take it all, standing tall. Fear I weighed the person you are. Oh, break out, I've got to see. Spent all my life holding all of it closely. I played it in a sense, a feel of discontent. I'm finally facing it all, fearless.